it's not enough tarp to cover everything, including this vent, which is leaking. That's about as hillbilly as you can get. Welcome back, my nomies, and thanks for joining us again here on the MT and me. Well, as you might have guessed, our focus this week is going to concern tarps. But before we get into that, I walked out here to get to work today, and I noticed another problem that needs the immediate attention. And it's right up here. As you can see, the plastic has come off my window opening here on the driver's side of the fiberglass cab over. It's actually supposed to come a pretty hard shower here in just a few hours. Now the plastic is right here on the ground, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a very big job. Okay, now that we have the plastic back over the window opening, it's time to pull out this tarp I have, the only tarp I have, and see what we can do with it. Now, this one is not big enough to do the job, I know that, but I don't know exactly how big it is. So we're going to spread it out, take a few measurements, and just see if maybe we can still use it on top in a temporary fashion. This tarp is 8 by 11. That's not as big as I want on top of Pearl, but right now it's better than the one I have up there. So we're going to try putting this on top and see what kind of protection it affords us. In the meantime, I've ordered the proper size, something on the order of 10 by 12, I think. That should be plenty big enough. Pardon me, 10 by 20, not 10 by 12, 10 by 20. That will cover the entire top. For now, let's see if we can get this up and see what it does. It should be raining here in maybe an hour or two, and maybe we can test it out and see how it works. As you can see, it's not enough tarp to cover everything, including this vent, which is leaking. The new tarp will cover it all. But for today, I don't have another tarp. But I do have a wash tub that I think will work. All right, that's about as hillbilly as you can get. So, if it does indeed rain in a little bit, we'll get inside Pearl and see if that tarp and wash tub is doing any good. In a few days, we'll have the full-size tarp and we'll put it on top. Now, some of you are wondering, Russ, haven't you tried this before? You put that big canvas tarp on, you put plastic on, and nothing worked. And you know what? You're right. But things are a little different now. We don't have anything on the roof. The air conditioner is gone, the antenna is gone, all the obstructions that held that tarp or plastic up are gone. So this tarp, as you can see, is laying relatively flat. I'm hoping that will make a difference. The rain will let us know. Well, as you might be able to hear, it is raining a little bit. And it's leaking a little bit. But not nearly the way it was. We have a little moisture up here, but the tarp did not come this far. It appears that despite a few holes that you can see in it, my wash tub is doing a good job of keeping this part dry. Tarp is covering this entire opening. It's the air conditioner opening, and it has stayed dry. Starting to rain kind of hard again there. It's going to get awfully noisy here in Pearl with that kind of rain falling. Well, what we've learned is that whenever we do get a tarp that will cover the entire top, I think that's going to solve our problem as far as liquid coming in. We will have to secure it around the edges some way or another, so we'll work that out when the time comes. That full-size tarp ought to be here possibly tomorrow or within the next day or two. And so maybe we'll get to put it in place before we get another rainfall here. In the meantime, this blue one is better than no cover at all. Now I think I'll get inside before it really starts raining hard. Yeah. And welcome back. It is a day, actually 2 days, I guess, later. And the good news is we have our tarp. Hey, all right. Heavy duty or Euro Boost, as it says on the label, if you want to read French instead. Anyway, it's a heavy duty tarp to go on top of Pearl. And it actually came yesterday. The next day from our previous filming, but it was still raining, and even today things are still pretty wet. Now I don't think there's supposed to be any rainfall today. It's actually a little bit cooler. It's pretty nice out here. Blue skies and a little breeze blowing. Considering the hot summer we've had, today is absolutely gorgeous. So far, it can still get hot this evening, but we'll just have to wait and see. Not supposed to rain, though. The question is going to be, is the top of Pearl dry enough to put this over it? Because I need to have it completely dry before I cover it with a tarp. Obviously, I don't want to cover up water. That kind of defeats the purpose now, wouldn't it? This tarp is 10 by 20, okay? Now, that is what they call a cut size. Anytime you buy a tarp, it'll tell you it's a cut size, and that means that it's cut to that size. And then they do the fold over around the edge and do the seams and the reinforcement. So your tarp's actually going to be a little bit smaller than that 10 by 20. It's going to be a few inches less. The top of Pearl measures about 7.5, this on the outside, measures about 7.5, 7.75 feet by just about 18. So I should have plenty of tarp here to just cover the top, and then we could secure it down the sides and have a full coverage, including the metal part, which is where we have some problem with leakage, and also the front, the fiberglass part, which has no trouble leaking outside of that broken vent. But it'll all be covered by this. And like I said, I think that'll get us through the winter time just fine, and give everything inside a chance to thoroughly dry out. That's my main goal with this. So what remains to be seen now is just how wet the top is under the small tarp that we have on there, and whether or not it's dry enough to put this on today. So what do you say we do a little checking? Let's shimmy up the back here and see what she looks like. First of all, as you can see, my tarp has not survived the wind very well. It is holding in place, and it does have some standing water on it. Is there water underneath it? Oh yeah, plenty. So I think what we need to do is remove the blue tarp. Let everything dry out. Whew, you can see how much water is standing under here. The good news is, under the tarp that was on there, our air conditioner opening did not leak, nor did the cutout for the old refrigerator vent. So the tarp did some good. And of course the infamous redneck wash tub, which is not quite sitting level, but nonetheless did the trick, keeping that front vent from leaking as well. So I guess we let things dry out, and then we'll see about getting the big tarp on and get this top completely covered for the winter time. So we have our tarp. The trouble is, the top of Pearl is not going to dry out in time for us to put it on today. And if I don't do it today, I'm not going to have time to get it into this week's video. What that means is you'll have to stay tuned, and next week, weather permitting, we'll get that brand new tarp on top of Pearl. getting tongue-tied here already. But nonetheless, you got that to look forward to. Sorry we didn't quite make it this time, but we did do a little bit of work, and with the small tarp that we had, at least we proved that the system should work fine. I'm very optimistic about this new large full coverage tarp keeping Pearl dry on the inside through the upcoming winter season. So cross your fingers with me that we've got that covered. Pun intended. As for today, I'm afraid that's going to be it this week. Thanks a lot, as always, for watching, for supporting us here on the MT and Me. My nomies, you guys are number one. I love each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed, then do so below, all right? Give me a thumbs up, like this video, and join us each and every week for the saga of Pearl, the mobile traveler, right here on the MT and Me. Thanks again for your support. You'll find links below to the mtandme.com and also a link to buy me a coffee, and look for our Facebook page as well. Until next time around, I'm Russ. Thanks again, my nomies. Have a good week, and we will talk later.